Continuing on with this series about rethinking projects and using 5 elements to help rethink projects, how we do projects. It's worth looking at the Gantt chart in terms of how our 5 elements reframe can help us really rethink how that's going. A Gantt chart, the classic project management tool, is made up of tasks, sometimes with summary tasks. Each task has dependencies, durations, and they're in a sequence. Now that fits well with the exploit model, where we assume things are certain, but it doesn't fit well with the uncertainty of explore. And yet large chunks of a Gantt chart usually have some or small or even very large elements of explore within them. So if we rethink them in terms of 5 elements, we need tasks that focus on, that test for context, in other words, are about purpose. We need elements of each task that check its scope, which is the people space. We need to develop a plan, which is preparation. And the whole idea of the plan, in terms of the squiggle, is that we're reducing the uncertainty as we go along. And it may be projects within projects, tasks within tasks, subtasks within subtasks, a layered approach, but it's still slowly reducing the uncertainty as much as we can. When we move to action, the task there is our process, if you like, but every task includes an element of process within it. But here, what we often find is that the stuff that we've all planned out becomes uncertain. There are pieces of it that suddenly show up, the bits that we'd assumed that actually can no longer be assumed to be so, the insights that arise. So in a sense, the squiggle actually goes backwards there. We increase the uncertainty in some ways. And also, every task needs to be able to have a learning element in it. Did we achieve what we intended to achieve? What are the benefits realized, the lessons learned? It's, in other words, performance in 5 elements terms. And a task is not complete until we've done that after action review. So every task is now, in this reframe, every task looks much the same. It's actually a 5 element set of context or purpose, scope or people, plan or preparation, the action itself, the process, and learn or performance. If we rethink Gantt in terms of that every box that we see on a Gantt chart is actually this multi-layered, multi-framed box inside of that single box, task box, then it gives us a quite different way to use a Gantt chart to help us handle the explore parts of a task as well as just the exploit.